Look at that. The remnants of the GPH. The dragon and the dragon's lair, those all perfectly fine. The one thing that you would think would burn because of the heat.
Yeah, I'm gonna need your name.
My name is Michael Smith.
Hey, Brad, he says his name is Michael Smith.
Right. I know the name.
I was the one that saw the fire, that noticed it.
You turned it in?
Yep, yeah. I saw the flames coming up in a perfect square. I say, call the fire department, it's a structure fire. It looks like the AACT building is on fire. They had a lot of water on this fire really quick. They did a good job.
But obviously they couldn't save any of the structure.
It had come through the roof of the building, and when it vented air in, it just took off after that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, well, thank you for your time. It's like a person who's died in your life. You called or you talked to every day, and now that person is unavailable. It was more than just a building that represented sort of an ecological system. When it went away, it was like, well, what am I going to do today? Oh man, I remember, every beam, every piece of that unistrut going up, all of that. It is unbelievable. There's nothing salvageable here other than the concepts. The official report is that, it had to do with some biochar that was not completely extinguished. It was on the outside, but looking at the BTU rating of charcoal versus the devastation we're looking here and the amount of heat that needed to be generated, I'm a little suspicious. Wow, look at this. This is a device that's meant to withstand the combustion of a car engine. Look what's happened to the metal in there. It's completely melted. So we know the heat in there got to be pretty intense. I kept feeling like there's a block about going forward, and now that roadblock is gone. But the road is also gone. So now we can go straight up if we want.
Whatever doesn't kill you makes you stronger. That old saying is coming pretty true right now. We just got notice they are going to replace our farm with skating rinks, 2 professional NHL skating rinks and 2 community rinks. So we're going to freeze water and provide more entertainment for people, and we're going to get rid of the farm. And we live in such an entitled region, and I think most of the time when it comes to technology, California's way ahead, but I think we're sorely behind the country when it comes to this movement. And it's because people think they're safe out here. You look at the big picture, nobody's safe. A small earthquake that splits the 5 freeway here in Orange County 1 inch. The trucks don't roll for 2 months. Every city has about 4 days food supply. Where's the food going to come from? And there's really not a lot of education or people wanting to do the research. They really don't want to know the answer. It's kind of like ignorance is bliss. Yeah, I am a little frustrated, and that's part of what drives me. But it's not a frustration. I'm not angry. I'm very much a realist. I knew going in that this was fighting up a river. I also knew that it was worth everything I could do to throw it at it. It's sad in a way, but it's good because it's a reality check. Where are we headed? I mean, where are we really going? And I think that's going to be defined by the political will, and it's going to be defined even more by where we set our priorities.
About 2010, my brother's young boy, Aiden, had an autoimmune disease pop up, and this was a really tough one. Both kidneys were about on the verge of failure, and they were dumping proteins into the blood. And there's no question that I believe that it was a poor food, poor diet, too much salt, oil, and sugar in the diet. They were just eating too much garbage. And so this little boy's immune system just collapsed, and next time I saw him, he was in a hospital all hooked up with pipes. And I mean, I actually was pissed. I mean, I have to admit, that was the feeling. I was mad, and I thought, I was mad at my brother, and of course my brother and I didn't talk for a year because he knew I blamed him for it. But I was also mad at myself because I said, you know, I got to get out there now and start teaching people how to do this because I know how to do it. And that was the moment that triggered me to do it. You know, a lot of people talk about it, but you got to go out and do it. And that's really how it all started.
And being up here now and being a part of this company and all the work that's gone into it is just, it's doing something that I believe in, and I know that everyone that I'm working with believes in. It's doing something that I think can change the world.
The vision for tonight was to just connect and share, you know, your memories and impressions about what the GPH meant to you.
I just wanted to say that I remember very well all of those days, lifting panels, soldering, welding, and I'm going, hey, I'm a computer scientist.
Everybody, even today, there's so much conversation here today about the future.
The phoenix is rising and we're on a big ride, and you know, we're still a small core, but you know, I think we're just ready to expand and take this to the next level.
And I personally invite you to help us seed the future for the next one that we build.
So that we're all able to realize that and see the next one. So thank you all.
If you know the history, we got grants from the Department of Agriculture. I actually think that's what's held us up. I mean, these are, you know, feds that are supposed to be wanting to do this. And there was no follow-up, and you kind of wonder, where'd they go and why? Everybody's in the same game, and you put this in and it threatens the game. They were doing economic development for the Pacific Rim. So they threw an expo of technologies that would affect that. Of course, every technology applied, all the new stuff was out there. And, you know, we just put an application in. I mean, we were picked out of, you know, thousands. That unto itself speaks volumes. Okay, so put everybody's cards on the table, and then you pick the ones that you want to see change the world, and you're one of them. You have to say, somebody got it. Everybody just was crazy about it. And that just never went anywhere. And once again, it's the feds were involved. You know what I mean? So, just saying, when you get the big boys involved, somewhere in a board meeting, somebody's going, free energy? Maybe, you know, free fuel? Okay. You know what I mean? This isn't going to work. This won't help us. And I think that's true.
You know, thinking about the fire, if it was arson, and I'm not saying that it is, if it was, that sucks. However, he's hit about every challenge I can conceive, and I'm sure there's tons that are out there that I can't conceive, but he just keeps going.
Six years of my life has just been, you know, I can't say wasted, but is gone.
You know, it was depressing. But then, you know, what we had was each other.
Michael and Diane put everything they make into it. I mean, she's recycling and taking the recycle money and putting back into it. So, you know what I mean? It's really that.
It was hard to go out there. I didn't go out there for 3 months. It was just, there's no way I could just go look at the rubble.
Yeah, here's some old GPH scrap here.
When we saw that this project was going to consume our lives, it's like we nicknamed it our energy baby. He's just got this spirit that you see in his eyes. It was a love at first sight kind of thing.
And it puts stress on a relationship. Occasionally we lose our minds, start screaming at the top of our lungs, running off into the woods, just, you know, why are we doing this, you know? Anybody else would have given up by now. Suddenly our source of revenue, our revenue stream just disappeared on us. And that put a lot of undue pressure on the company. Until we get the system up and running again, it's going to be quite a struggle to make this all work.
Our society as a whole has a need of a soul healing. This is the reason I think we have so many problems in society today, is that we have these souls that yearn. In 1985, I was completely bereft. It was a February day and it was raining. I had gone through a job interview and had been turned down again. You know, I was in a suit. I really felt as though society had deemed me a marginal person, and wandered fruitlessly. I knew I had to change, but I didn't know what was changing. I didn't know how it was going to change. And I had parked in a parking lot for a community garden. I got out of the car in the rain and walked through that garden. There was a feeling of such hopelessness and despair that there was no reason to continue. There was no reason to go on. And yet, walking through that garden somehow reaffirmed my worth, because I knew these plants. And these plants were talking to me.
I've reached out to the Girl Scouts and they still haven't gotten back to me. You never know what could be happening there. Trouble could be happening. They're either busy or they're just not listening. But we're still gonna keep trying.
Hi, Alicia. How you doing?
Cannot have food security if you cannot be seed secure.
I met David King and he talked to me about how seeds are really important.
These people are telling us that they're going to feed the world, right, with less diversity than what we had before, and that's not the way towards abundance. That's the way towards starvation.
Some seeds have already gone extinct because people aren't saving them. And if we don't save seeds and all of them are gone, we won't have food.
Anytime you engage nature in a fight, you're losing. You're going to lose sooner or later. And look we've got super weeds now. We've got super insects now. These people inventing these GMOs, were they creationists? Did they think that the bugs and the insects weren't going to change? Good grief, no. That's why I think having a seed library where the seeds are growing out year after year, they respond. There's a dance in nature where the plant gets better, the weeds get better, insects get better, the plant gets better, the weeds get better, the insects get better. And that evolution is important. And it's important for our food, it's important for the entire balance of things.
The amount of extinction that's going on in seed varieties is unprecedented. Now, that's the source of our agricultural diversity. That's the source of our food security, especially at a time of global climate change. If the biotech industry has their way, they eliminate that diversity and put the entire food security at risk for greater profit.
So we are creating a food scarcity system in the name of providing food. My own work is at the level of ecological science. I look at farming systems as a whole, how biodiversity produces more nutrition when you save the seeds and grow the foods.
What do you think? You want to start a seed library at your school? Is that something you think you could be in charge of? Yeah.
You can destroy everything. You can take away our books and our writings and destroy our cultures. You can kill every tree till no bird, no insect can find a place to hide. You can do that and more. I do not fear your tyranny. I do not despair ever, because I save one seed, which I will sow and plant again.